All right, the S&P 500, the NASDAQ 100, again, we see some whipsaws, we see the back and forth, but ultimately today was a little bit more red than it was green. And we can see, again, you're only down about less than 1%, a little bit over 0.5%, QQQ as well, range bound. Now, this is the biggest thing that we're talking about is how you're moving like this, right? Just in a clear-cut range, no breakout, no breakup. We're going to be talking about what you need to expect and what you need to be looking for. And we also have some major earnings coming in very soon because earnings season, believe it or not, is upon us once again. Now, if we're going to be going over exactly what we're looking at with futures as well, and then breaking down the top stocks and how we're going to be trading those into tomorrow as well. If you have any questions, make sure you comment down below. Let me know your thoughts, or if you think I'm wrong about anything, I would love to correct myself if I ever slip up. So again, let me know what you think. Let's get to work. Now, what we're going to do first is go into more of SPY and QQQ. When you look here, again, we have a lot of levels here, but let me clear this out so you can see. Number one, what you're really doing here at the end of the day is you're still grinding on the 50 MA. This is your 50 daily moving average. That is all it is. That's all it is, okay? And so as you can see, you're grinding above that, and you have been grinding above that basically since you got the golden cross back with the 200 SMA. Just grind, acting as support. Well, what I will say now is that you're still kind of putting in some lower highs here for SPY at the very least, okay? And then you're also inching closer towards 654, 652. So the question is this going to dip to the downside, right? Now, I will say right now, I don't think it's worth I don't think this is a short yet. I don't think so. So before, and I think it's just important people know, I'm not short. I have no shorts right now. I'm just chilling, just looking at this. Now intraday, I do short the market, but at the end of the day, swing and stuff overnight, I'm not there right now. So again, this is going to be kind of your level where you can see all the wicks are coming down into 654 to 652 almost, as you can see there. If we flip this, I think you have some trouble down to 646, 642, and then ultimately what you really want to see is the big pullback towards the 200 SMA, 613, 605. Ideally, that'd be like the best case scenario if we did get a pullback, and I'm rooting for a pullback. I would love to see a pullback as an investor, as a trader, as a longer term trader. Yeah, I would love to see a pullback. And I think most of us would be excited for that, okay? Very important to understand that, because if you're a longer dated trader, I had someone message today and they're like, this is really annoying for people that aren't day trading. And I mean, it's a little annoying, the action, because you're not really doing much. But you have to understand, dips set up some of the best trades you're going to get. So very important to understand that. QQQ, NASDAQ is definitely holding up a lot better than SPY right now. Hasn't even got close to its 50 MA. You got kind of close down there at 590 roughly, but still. But you can see you're holding up near 595, 596. The real resistance is like 602, 603. You've tried 607, but quickly rejected every single time, right? And on the other side, you have Dow futures, which again are hugging your 50 SMA, ready to break at any point. So what is my opinion on where we're at right now? So if you guys follow on Twitter, I recommend doing so because this is like just the best place where I can update you guys on news. And I make sure I repost to give my thoughts, anything that's there for you, okay? And yesterday we had a lot about it. Now, number one, Trump came out and said, we are in a trade war. That is what we're doing. Then today they come out and say China plans to work with the United States to find a solution. But it's worth mentioning, I didn't highlight the other stuff that they said. They're basically like Trump and the United States are going out this totally wrong. It's the worst mentality to have. It's also worth mentioning the market's back to extreme fear, which is also just hilarious. So again, you get all these updates on Twitter, so make sure you're tapped in there. But basically, if you don't know, nothing's shifted fundamentally. They are set to meet. They are set to talk, China and America, regarding what's going to happen with tariffs and where we're going to be moving forward from there. So important to know that. Want to highlight that. There's nothing really bad being mentioned today, but I will say there's still a lot of stuff up in the air. And then one thing that I've said, and we haven't been there in a long time, but one of the most bearish things for the market typically is uncertainty, the unknown, just up in the air. And Donald Trump really is a lot of the up in the air. You never really know. It seems like the market's kind of adjusted to it so far, but we'll see how we keep moving forward, okay? So I want to spend more time more on SPY because I know a lot of you guys use that and what you're going to be tracking here. So until you start seeing the break of this level down here, guys, I really wouldn't panic, right? We start breaking below, you know, this box down here, 654, 653, then I would start panicking. Until then, you're just dipping a little bit. You're trying to hold up. It is what it is, okay? You get no prizes for being the first person in the short. You typically are the one that gets, you know, the BTA, right? Belt to ass, okay? We don't want to get BTA'd, right? We don't want that, okay? QQQ, very similar. I mean, you get to break below 590, 587 to really get bearish. That's what you're watching for there as well, okay? Very, very simple. Now, as far as futures, SPY, QQQ, that's all I'd be watching. Wouldn't be doing nothing too crazy, okay? Want to make that transparently clear. Now, before we go into the stocks, we're looking at what we're trading, what I'm looking at. I will say right now, if you want to see how we're trading every single day, the Discord link is down below. Again, we go through a few things. So we start the day every morning with futures, what we're looking at, why we're looking at it, everything is right there. And then we go into our watch list from me or Jordan, and Jordan goes into his favorite stocks, his biggest stocks, and what they're looking at for levels and how to trade them from there. Then we go into trade ideas. These are more swing trades, so we mentioned all that in there as well. This might be leaps, buying stock, whatever it may be. Those are exact things that we're entering in, and those are a lot less because, again, like I'm not taking very many swing trades every single day. That's just not happening. Or I'm not investing in a stock long-term every single day. That's also not happening, okay? Those opportunities slowly come in. And then the next side, you get technicals, which this is what's going on every day. All the scalps, in and out, quick levels, everything you're looking for. So you know all day, every day, MicroStrategy, Tesla to the downside, Coinbase. Those are what we really traded today, what I really traded on the day. So it was all mentioned there for you. Netflix also to the downside, literally below the 50 MA, straight down to 1200. Was all mentioned there inside of Discord. So do what you got to do. And Tempest, we got that long off of 91.5 into 97, also dope. So again, trades down below. You can see the profits, everything like that. The Discord link. Do what you got to do. Now, going into the market, going into what we want to see. Now, I want to quickly just shift gears. Like I said, I don't think you're in the position to where you need to panic on Qs or SPY. Do I think you should be cautious? 100%. Like nothing's changed. Like you're just sitting in the same box, not doing anything. But you still got to go business as usual, make money in the market if that's what you're trying to do. Going into those plays. Again, NVIDIA, you're stuck below 184. Until you get back above 184 on NVIDIA, I am not looking to do anything. Clear as day, rejecting. We're back right where we were. This is literally deja vu to being back here before, as you can see, C and C. So again, you are just back there. I know some people are going to say inverted head and shoulders. You get above 184, sure, go long. But until then, not touching it at all. Below 179.5 to 50 MA, I'd be looking for 176. And if we lose 176 on NVIDIA, I really do believe there's some nasty downside potential into 173 and maybe even all the way down to 168. So again, a lot of concern there. However, I say that, but I have to say this. You look at SMH, the semiconductor ETF. You gapped out of this today, right? We talked about this literally yesterday, right? Kind of moving down here, downtrend, but you're breaking out, trying to break out. And what's happening? AVGO, which I think AVGO below 356 is probably a short, but you're holding up and you're making higher lows. If AVGO, and you almost had it today, holds above 356, you're looking for all-time highs. You look really good. Now, again, I question all these deals with OpenAI. Are they actually generating revenue? When will they generate revenue? Those are the million-dollar questions. But again, above 356 looks really good. Below 344.5, looking for the downside as well. Quick trade there. Super simple. Amazon, this has been one of the most disheartening stocks that I've seen. And I almost got into it long again on the day, but I was like, dude, this thing is just not looking good, right? You flipped your 50-day SMA here, 50 daily moving average. You dumped down like $10. You rejected off your 50 SMA, bumped all the way back down to your 200. And now you're kind of wicking through your 200, as you can see here, kind of making lower highs, a descending triangle. I don't like it, guys. I really don't. Like, I'm trying to like it. I think it's probably the most undervalued name when it comes to the S&P 500. I think if you're buying it with the mentality of like, I want to hold this long term, I think you're fine. Like Amazon, buy it, forget about it in your portfolio. That's how I'm treating it. But as far as intraday trades, buying options, I just don't think it's there yet. I mean, traditionally, I would love to buy to the 200, but you were just not reacting how I want you to react here. So I'm steering clear. But again, I would not be surprised for this to drop. And if it loses and stays below 200 and gets below 213 here, I mean, you're looking down like quickly. If you have a little level here, it's not really that big of a level, but I'd be watching it, right? 211, 212. But I could see it's coming all the way down to 206, 205, and then ultimately down to 200. I mean, like, it's crazy, but like, it doesn't look good. It just doesn't. Meta, very easy stock to be tracking right now. A lot of levels here. I'm sorry, but again, on the 5 minute, look at the 15 minutes so you can see. Again, below 719, it's an easy short, but you've been breaking above 719. You hold it for a little bit, you reject 725 and come right back down. But you can also just see that clear cut level here at 719, 719.5. I mean, it's clear as day. You're just rejecting and making lower highs. It's just not a good look. If Meta starts holding below 705, 706, this probably comes down to 700. And you guys already know below 791.5, 792, we're looking for the drop all the way down to 691. You're looking for the drop down to 672. I think that could be one of the top trades we're going to be watching. Looks very, very good. Below 691, 692, looking for 672. Bring me to another name that's pretty weak. Netflix. Netflix has been a name that I've traded like I was mentioning to Discord. I've literally taken the same trade like 5 times. I kid you not. Below the 50 SMA, short down 1200, do it again over and over and over. Okay. But Netflix today, like you were looking decent for a while, rejected the 50 SMA, and then just started nuking to the downside. Netflix, I think they're going to bounce back. You have to remember too, they have earnings upcoming. Very, very important to understand. That's going to be next Tuesday, I believe. Yeah, right here, the 21st. That's going to be big. But right now I think the sentiment is just bearish. People are anticipating subscription count to be impacted, which they said they're not going to be sharing subscription counts anymore. So who knows if they go into detail about that or how it's impacted revenue. But again, below like 1180, 1179, you're looking for 1164, massive gap there. So again, could be a top trade into tomorrow. I will say traditionally what I like to see is a BRB, so a break like this. So I want to see like a break of the level, a retest, and then a shot down. Netflix is a pretty volatile name. You might not get the retest. So you're going to have to be watching this one close. I think it's one of the better looking plays on the downside. I wouldn't look to go long until you're back above 1200 and then back into the 50 SMA. Simple, easy trade there also. Apple, dude. Apple has been trash, dude. And this is why I'm not bearish yet. I'm really like, I'm trying not to like let my bias or how I feel about the market or circumstances dictate how I trade and dictate like how I carry myself in a video like this. So people don't start, trading off of emotions. Cause I struggle with that too sometimes. Right. It's hard to even like see, like it's kind of crazy that NASDAQ's holding up the way it is when you have names like Nvidia and Apple just not really doing it. I mean, AVGO is looking good, but they just still look good, right? You're getting a little bit of a pullback. You don't look terrible. You're still close to all-time highs, but I think Apple wants to retest 240, 241. It seems very likely. Like you haven't had the test. It seems incredibly likely that you're going to test 240. And I would like to see that before you move forward. Now, if you break him out 250, you look good back to the upside. But again, it's just not great action. Not what you really like to see. Okay, again, just weak action. Even though you saw some bounce on NASDAQ and ES, you didn't see it on Apple today, right? Going into Tesla. Again, Tesla's been pretty simple to trade. I basically trade this 2 ways. Above 426, you can go long if you get a good retest and a hold there. I like it, and if the market looks strong. I've traded it a few times in like 436, 439, but I also traded to the downside. So again, here on the day, this is one of the trades we took, the break and retest off of 426 down to 422, 421. You hit target one, then bounce back up. So if Tesla opens up tomorrow and we start spending a bulk of the day under 426, if we just get below 426 at open and we don't gap up or anything, I think this will be a clean trade on the downside, 422, 418, and then down to 414, 415 potentially. Be watching that. You hold this and we start seeing buying in the market looking towards 439 once again. If you can ever mount 439, as you can see here, I've been waiting on it. You have a straight shot into 445, 446, maybe 450 as well. It's been another good trade. It's just about knowing when to get aggressive, when to be patient. That's really been this market. There'll be periods throughout the day where I just literally do nothing, I like twiddle my thumbs, and then there'll be like an hour to 2 hour period where I'm just like pumping out like setups that I'm looking at in Discord, like 5 ideas I'm waiting for, right? And the fingers on the trigger waiting. And that's just how the market's been for me. And then the other thing I'll say too is it's all about, like I'm definitely repeating myself, but it's all about knowing when to get aggressive, when to not be aggressive. I can only say it so much. And also knowing to take your money and run. Right? So many people are trying to okay, well, this might take profit, but I think we can go a little bit further. And it's just like, this isn't the market of continuation, right? That's why I'm so big on showing SPY, Qs, futures, because if you don't understand how futures are moving, it's going to be very difficult for you, in my opinion, to trade equities and to know when you're going to get continuation or not get that continuation. Because if futures are breaking out and getting a great move, that's typically a great time to maybe hold your Nvidia or hold your Tesla or hold your large cap name, right? Now, mid caps and small caps can move a little bit better without that, but it's worth mentioning, right? And so when we look at how SPY is moving, as you can see, it's just it's like a heart rate. That's what it is right now. So there's no reason to get crazy, in my opinion. And it's just like, see my money, move my price chart, move my stop loss up, let the trade run, just gradually move the stop up and up and up. If I make less money, it is what it is, but at least I'm making money. That is the goal during this. But again, that's kind of been my mentality of how I'm looking to approach this as of right now. two of the weakest names in the market, and I have been hammering this home inside Discord. Number one, MicroStrategy almost hit our target of 280, 281, so close. Get down to 282. But again, we ran this trade back. Literally, like I said, it's been the same trade, just repetition, same trades, right? Again, people might get tired of it, but it's like, dude, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? No reason. So again, MicroStrategy, what we were looking for here. Again, so far, perfect BRB on MicroStrategy, looking for that breakdown. As you can see, bang there. You actually literally ran this trade back twice, but I called it up before we even had the break. So I said, again, below 292. And again, I wait for the setups, guys. And you literally saw it here. Perfect. Break, retest, shot down. I need to take your profits a little bit early, but again, you did it again, which is the funniest part, right? So you have your first retest here, your second retest here, and then now you're pushing back down. Another name is Coinbase. And I will say, crypto has looked really solid. What you're seeing, you looked really good, but I'm not gonna lie, Donald Trump and the boys they're doing the crypto boys dirty right now, okay? But yeah, Coinbase coming to your 50 SMA as well in your 328. I'd be careful there. If you break that, I think you could have some pain down to 313, 315, give or take. So be watching that as well. That being said about crypto, again, crypto, if it loses this, this is real time, so the crypto market doesn't sleep, right? If Bitcoin loses its 200 SMA, which is like 10, it's basically 108,000. If you lose your 200 SMA, I really think you're in trouble here on Bitcoin. The chart's pretty. The chart looks good. You had the breakout. I mean, the first long we took off this, couldn't have gone better. But man, they're tossing it here. Okay, this is prison. Getting your salad tossed right here. Not in a good way either. Not in a good way. This is bad. Don't like this one, right? Under 108,000, this could get very ugly very quick. We could see 100,000 like that, guys. So keep your head on a swivel. Not a huge fan of this, as what I will say right now. On the bright side, yields making new local lows. The 10-year yield breaking down, 30-year yield breaking down. Again, mortgage rates on their way back down as well. Rate cuts are coming in. I think the next meeting's the 30th to the 29th. So rate cuts are coming. So again, worth mentioning, definitely worth tracking there. This is overall good. Good sign. This is one of the only good pieces of news out there. Yields are on the way down. Good to see, right? But again, what I'm looking at, why I'm looking at it, everything in between, cheaper names. I made a video earlier going over more of the cheaper names, also into quantum, why I hate it so much. But again, that's all there for you. One of the strongest names I kind of forgot to mention here is Oracle. Dude, Oracle is killing it. It is killing it. Now, I'll tell you right now, the only place you look for shorts is below 292. If you're above 292 in Oracle, do not look for shorts. That is a dumb trade, okay? You mounted 306 today. You started shooting up to 323. It was insane. Massive move. Been talking a lot about Oracle here on the channel as well. Looks really good. As long as you're above 292, you look fine. So again, keep trading it, like it as well. But again, that's where I'm at mentally right now, how I'm looking at the market. And sorry guys, I don't keep last things, but this is really the last thing. I've been mentioning CRM. So they announced a deal with OpenAI, I believe, so be careful. But again, CRM down here at 235 to 220. I think it's a buying opportunity for stock. Buy it, forget about it. I think it's a great overall name. You go to something like the weekly chart. Again, you lose 220, you might be in trouble. But this is a massive area that goes all the way back to 2022, 2023 when we flipped it. So I'd be watching CRM. I like it a lot here. It's one of the few stock buys I think you have here. Now, if the market rolls over and a bunch of pain comes in, then maybe you get torched. But again, I think it's really interesting where you're at. I've been saying that you actually gapped up today with the news in almost 260. So if you took profits, take profits, whatever. But again, mentally where I'm at, what I'm watching. If you have any questions, let me know down below. Another video coming out tomorrow. Have a good one, traders.